Hello everybody, welcome back to my little channel, which hasn't had many videos on it recently. But I wanted to talk about this today. I was in my local German supermarket yesterday, Lidl, and I always like to go down the middle aisle in Lidl. It's got all sorts of treasures at quite low prices to do with tools and camping equipment and all the other nonsense that people have. But my eye spied this. It's a LED headlamp, and I've never had one of these before. I've often thought I need an extra arm here to hold a torch when I've been working on things, but this will solve the problem, and it is extremely good quality. It's got a decent strap on it. Decent strap. It's all nice and rubbery. It's got a nice rubbery feel to the actual unit. And I couldn't believe how cheap it was. £1.99. How the hell do they make these things so cheaply in China? They must be making them for like 25p a go. And it, as you'll see later, it's got quite a bit of, well, a fair bit of electronics in it. But if I turn it on now, it comes on in brightest mode. And it is bright enough for me. Difficult to show when you've got a light on in the workshop. But, you know, it works. And then you've got a second setting, which is dimmer, and then a third setting, flashing mode. I don't think I want to be doing any flashing in the near future. You often get arrested for doing that. But as I demonstrated it then, it's in a modified form, because I'm never happy unless I pull something apart to see what's in it and possibly modify it. Now, it took me a while to work out how it does come apart, because I hate reading the manuals. In fact, the manuals took almost as much space up in the box as this did, because it was in numerous different languages. But what you do is you try and pull off the rubber surround, and if you're lucky, eventually you'll get this off. You get access to the guts, where you see the batteries to treble A's, and they also gave you those, and I'm sure they are fairly crap Chinese batteries. But what I wanted to do was, I take the batteries out, was measure its current. And I've just dropped the battery on the floor, just slightly annoying. So 3 volts. So let's connect it up to my power supply, and then we'll measure it in its new modified form, dare I say. So I've got it connected up to 3 volt power supply now. If I turn it on, difficult to get in there. The switch is rather recessed. So that's in the brightest mode, and I go up to my power supply, and it's reading 238 milliamps, which is fine. But remember, this is in the modified state. If I go to the lower setting of brightness, that's 71 milliamps, and I won't bother testing the flashing mode. Now I'm going to try and take it apart and show you how I modified it. It's a little bit difficult, especially around the camera. It was hard enough to do without the camera, but basically you've got to get these battery connectors out. That's the shorting one, and these are slightly more difficult at this end. I just have to try and lever them up. Until you can grab hold of them like that with a pair of pliers. Making a bit of a mess of this. It's difficult around the camera. Okay. Right. Maybe we need some more light on this. But in here is a little circuit board, and where's my thing? I'm quite impressed with this. It's a well-made circuit board, this. They've obviously got some sort of microcontroller here that controls the various modes. I've not investigated what signals you get out of this, the LEDs under here, and I'm not sure if you get straight DC on high brightness, and it will be pulse width modulated on lower brightness. But there's all sorts of other nonsense. There's a little choke there. It might have something to do with the pulse width modulating. And what I've done, if you can look in there, get a bit closer, and then it won't focus. No, it doesn't like that. Come on, you bastard, focus. So what you can see basically is that's the red lead from the LED, and I've put a resistor in series with it. It's actually a 10 ohm resistor. It took me the best part of half an hour wasting my life away to get the optimum resistor. I think I started off with a 1 ohm SMD resistor, which made virtually no difference, and here's the remains of some other resistors that I've destroyed in the process of testing. I did get up as far as 7 ohms with 2 10s in parallel, which is that one there. It's a 10 ohm, and that would give me 5 ohms, and it was still drawing too much, so I tried a few extra 1 ohm resistors along here, and that didn't really help much. So I just tried it on a single 10 ohm in the end, and then now I'll show you a comparison between how it used to be and how it is now. So this is in the high brightness mode with my mod. If I short out that resistor, which is difficult, you see it does get considerably brighter. But this, I discovered, is more than adequate for working on my electric bike, and even in the lower current mode, which you can see the pulse modulation now on, as it's conflicting with my shutter speed. But even in that mode, in pitch darkness, it was more than bright enough to read a book at night. So that, I think, was a successful modification. I put it back to the highest brightness and we go up to the power supply. Okay, 237 milliamps on the high brightness mode. If I short out that resistor, you'll see what happens. That 10 ohm resistor, over half a bloody amp. So that is quite ridiculous, I think. So, not what else I'll say with it really, but people in the UK might like to go and buy one, because I think it's an excellent product at hardly any money, and not much else. Well, what else can I say about it? Gotta put it all back together again now. So yeah, this strap even is really high quality, nice and springy and decent quality, adjustable for big heads. So that's about that. Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe. Bye for now. Just before I go, I'll put it back together. This is not a completely dark room. We've got some daylight coming through the windows, but that's in high brightness modes, and you can see it's, well, to me that's more than good enough. And if I dim it, that is enough. Easily to read something off a piece of paper. Okay, bye for now.